I think the most exciting thing about the announcement of Blackfrost, the sequel to The Long Dark, is the potential for the evolution of the gameplay mechanics that made The Long Dark so distinct. While the focus is switching from single-player to co-op-centric gameplay, I'm certain that a lot of aspects of the game will have to change in order to work with this shift. There are some mechanics in The Long Dark that I feel really need to change. The reason can range from it not making sense to, well, Mathis can clue you in.
That pisses me off!
So here are 5 things that Blackfrost will hopefully do better than The Long Dark, plus a bonus topic at the end because 5 reads better than 6. This scene right here from the Blackfrost trailer made me realize there's something key missing from The Long Dark when it comes to food. Heat. This frosted over can of Pinnacle Peaches would contain an ice block inside. For certain types of food, it should require a heat source in order to eat it. Things like some canned foods, meat, and anything high in liquid should be frozen solid if they are not heated before eating. Foods like snack foods and cattails can definitely be eaten as normal, although I imagine they would be a bit harder to chew. Additionally, you should be able to reheat pretty much any food that would normally be heated and acquire the heating up bonus from it. Based on the information we have with the announcement, it doesn't sound like Blackfrost will have a dedicated story mode like Wintermute. One thing that Blackfrost is going to need is some kind of tutorial for the basics. Wintermute sort of functioned as a tutorial, offering side quests that taught the basics. Without a proper tutorial, a lot of people, both old and new, are going to have trouble learning certain aspects of the game. I guess that the community itself could offer help with learning the basics, but it really is something that Hinterland should put in Blackfrost. It could be something as basic as a series of videos for various topics, a collection of text entries, or a playable tutorial level. If Hinterland wants to attract new players for Blackfrost, it would be in their best interest to make the barrier to entry a little easier. All Blackfrost really needs is a way to learn and understand the very basics of survival, enough to get all players past the first day. The Long Dark has a somewhat steep learning curve, so a simple tutorial would help make the first leap to long-term survival. Considering the addition of several new accessory items with the Far Territory expansion, it became very apparent that the clothing and accessory slot system is flawed. So you can wear the ear wraps on your head and a rifle holster on your back, but Darkwalker forbid you try to put on the tool belt around your waist. I get it, it's how accessories are balanced. I think a better way to balance them would be to heavily restrict movement when wearing them. With the current accessory items, almost all of them would be considered late game. It makes sense that I can wear crampons on my feet and a moose satchel, but a rifle holster and a moose satchel together would make less sense. I believe there should be an accessory slot for each major part of the body, including head, back, torso, and feet. Additionally, I would like to see more clothing slots for the head. Currently there are hats, scarves, wraps, and balaclavas. I believe that 3 slots would make more sense as some of these clothing types occupy different parts of the head. The hat slot is for any type of hat. The wrap slot is for things like cowls and head wraps. The face slot would contain both balaclavas and scarves, but they could easily have their own slot. Realistically, the way to balance the use of all clothing and accessory slots would be to decrease movement speed and rotation speed significantly. The more you wear, the more cumbersome it is to move. If you choose to fill every slot, you will move like a snail. I think this is better and would allow you to wear things in combination that make sense. One of my biggest pet peeves in The Long Dark is how some mechanics make no sense at all in how they function. Take painful injuries for instance. A sprained ankle and a sprained wrist both need a separate bandage to heal. That makes sense. What doesn't make sense is that they both need their own pain relief dose. If you are in pain from multiple sources, 1 dose of pain relief should be enough. When it comes to larger and more powerful injuries, that's where multiple pain relief doses would be necessary. These types of injuries could also justify the inclusion of a more powerful but difficult to find pain reliever. The same goes for antibiotics in the case you get 2 different infections at the same time. If I roll one ankle, take a pain relief dose, and roll another ankle 5 minutes later, that pain relief dose should be sufficient. If I roll a third ankle, I'm going to look like a pill addict. Don't ask how you roll a third ankle. Another pet peeve I have with The Long Dark is that the game really likes to break the laws of physics.
That pisses me off!
Boiling a bunch of water? All of a sudden you have a water bottle to put it in. Cooking a fish? Now you have a brand new lantern fuel container. Failed to mend your clothing? Your piece of cloth now fades away into the void. What I really hope Blackfrost does is try to at least follow the law of conservation of mass. I have sat there mending a clothing item with a 90% chance of success, only to watch it fail 4 times in a row with those pieces of cloth disappearing from existence. I want my cloth back. I do also think that containers for things like water, cooking oil, and lantern fuel need to be discovered first before they can be taken. Containers suddenly existing kind of takes the immersion away a little bit. For a game with a science-based apocalypse, I hope to see Blackfrost follow this basic scientific principle. This is a bonus thing that I would love to see in Blackfrost, but it is rather simple. Patch notes for every update need to be readable in the game. No more Steam overlay popping up when trying to open the patch notes. It makes it easier and more convenient to read them when they can be read in-game. I get the feeling that most people just ignore it because they don't want to deal with the Steam overlay or having to go to a different site. Let's be honest, people are getting lazier. Having readable patch notes entirely in the game would make informing the players a lot easier. I can't count the number of times I've seen a Reddit post of someone asking a question that could be answered simply by reading the patch notes. This would eliminate the only reason why someone would miss the details on any update. Okay, let's be honest, people don't even bother reading anymore. Well, those are 5 things that Blackfrost will hopefully do better than the Long Dark, plus a bonus thing because 5 reads better than 6. I've been sitting on this video for a month now, but I've got really busy with a much longer, higher priority video that you should definitely check out. Of course, I saw Zachnophanes changing the Long Dark video and realized my approach to this video could have been different, but I didn't want to deviate from what I wrote. You should definitely check his video out though, it's hilarious. Now that all my big pre-Wintermute episode 5 videos are complete, I'm kind of in a video limbo waiting for the light at the end of all things. In the meantime, I will continue working on the occasional lore video for random topics I haven't covered, as well as some Blackfrost videos similar to this one. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to leave a like and a comment for the algorithm so I can keep making them.